Good morning friends and welcome to the pre-market view. US markets saw sharp rebound after a weakness of 2 days and Nasdaq was up about 0.9%, the Dow was up almost about 1.5%, even the dollar rally has come to a halt and European markets too were up anywhere from almost about 0.75% to almost about 1.75%, and the same rally that was seen in the US market has got extended to Asian markets today morning, and most of the markets are up anywhere from 0.5 to almost about 1.25%. Nikkei in fact is at its 15 years highest level, and also SGX Nifty is suggesting that we are going to open up about 60 to 65 points higher. Overall sentiment is definitely positive as we had a combination of positive developments overnight. The insurance bill got clearance from Rajya Sabha. Also the IIP data came in better than expectations, though there is a bit of an aggravation in the CPI inflation data, but overall it's not way beyond the market expectations. So these developments with a much better global setup definitely bodes well for our markets, and we think that after the correction that we had seen, there could be some kind of a stabilization and up move in the specific areas, particularly banking and financial services, where because of the insurance bill there is definitely going to be some kind of a buying interest. In terms of flows, friends, FIs were net buyers in the cash market to the tune of about 733 crore. The domestic institutions were sellers to the tune of about 382 crore. On that note, let me invite our F&O expert to take you through important F&O cues and ideas that we can have from the derivative desk.
Good morning friends, let's have an analysis on derivatives. In yesterday's market we have seen Nifty opening up with a positive bias and also with a gap up opening of around 40-50 points in line with positive cues from majority of the international markets. We have seen in the Nifty, in the initial part of the day Nifty gaining due to gains in heavyweights like Kane Energy, Tata Steel, Cipla and many other large cap counters, which we have seen majority of the gainers in the yesterday's trade was mainly due to short covering which was observed in yesterday's trade, and also in later part of the day we have seen gains in majority of all the sectors, where most of the sectors closed in the positive territory, and we finally ended it with 0.70% gain at 8813.05. Now in the open interest term we have seen a minor build up of around 0.5%. Now we'll consider yesterday's pullback in Nifty mainly due to short covering which was seen by market participants. We have seen a minor build up of around 1.25 lakh shares in open interest. However, cost of carry have dipped a bit from 14.5% to 11.5%. That is, premium have came down significantly from 52 odd points to 37 odd points, and put call ratio in line with seeing a decent pullback in yesterday's trade. We have seen put call ratio have also inched higher by 3 basis points from 0.95 levels to 0.98 levels, and volatility index again cooled off a bit by around 2.5% and settled at 14.75 levels. Now the options activity we have seen out of the money strike price and also in the money strike price have seen significant amount of unwinding in yesterday's trade, indicating call writers have been covering the shorts. However, an at the money option of 8,800 call option has seen minor addition, which we feel is much of a long build up over there of around 3 odd percentage, while 8,900 and 9,000 call option has seen some kind of unwinding, which is a positive sign, and have seen an unwinding of 3% and 8% respectively in yesterday's trade. 9,000 being the highest in terms of open interest of around 55 lakh shares in it, which is a crucial resistance over there. Have also started seeing some kind of unwinding, indicating a positive momentum going forward. While in put option we have seen a significant amount of build up in 8,700 and 8,800 strike price. I have seen a build up of around 11 to 12 odd % respectively, which is also a positive sign. If you see the implied volatility in yesterday's trading put option especially, which has seen a dip of around 2.5 to 3 odd %, indicating most of this build up is on the shorter side. However, 8,500 still remains as the highest in terms of open interest for the remaining part of the series. There is one securities in band period for today's trade, that is Unitech. On FIS terms, in last couple of trading sessions, we have seen FIS covering their shorts after building good amount of short build up after the budget session. We have seen FIS building up significant amount of short positions. By last couple of trading sessions, we have seen FIS covering their shorts. However, the buying of FIS is quite small. In yesterday's trade also we have seen there were net buyers in index futures of around 125 crores, and the open interest of FIIs in index futures have gone down by around 1 to 2 odd percentage, while in index options there were net buyers of 225 crores, and in stock futures there were net sellers of 100 odd crores, and stock options there were net buyers of 33 crores. Our 5-day sweep stands at 8825 with a lower range at 8825 and a higher range at around 8700. Exit Nifty is trading positive by around 60 odd points, indicating we might see a gap up opening in today's trade, seeing the positive cues from the international US market last night, and we might see Nifty opening up with above a 5-day VWAP, which is a positive sign, and thereon we can see more of upside in today's trade. SX Nifty is currently trading at 8867. Thank you guys, that concludes from my side.
Friends, let me take you through Shrekhan pre-market action report starting with trading ideas. First, a long call on Bajaj Finserv as Rajya Sabha has cleared the insurance bill, and that's definitely a big positive. So one can go long on Bajaj Finserv in the stop loss of 1450 and a target of about 1524 to 1554. L&T, the IIP growth has come in better than the market expectations at 2.6%. That's definitely a big positive. Also, capital goods sector grew by about 12.8%. So one can go long on L&T with a stop loss of 1712 and a target of about 1799 to about 1834. DLF, the Blackstone Group is in advanced talks to buy 40% stake in Gurgaon DLF Cyber City. So one can go long on DLF with a stop loss of 146 and a target of about 153 to about 156. In other news and updates, since the Rajya Sabha has cleared the insurance bill, this is going to be a big positive trigger for the companies like Max India, Relcap, ICICI Bank and HDFC Limited, which have a strong presence in the insurance segment. The CPI inflation has inched up to about 5.37% for Feb, which is slightly higher than the street expectations. Hero MotoCorp is likely to launch 2 new scooters. IDRCL gets new orders worth about 226 crore. SpiceJet says it has got offers from the foreign airlines to buy the stake in the company. Remember friends, the erstwhile promoter has managed to buy the stake and got the management control, and the Marans have exited. So this is definitely going to be a positive trigger for the stock, and AXA will hike equity investment to 49% in the insurance JV with Bharti. IT slaps second notice on Jet Airways for delayed in the TDS payments. Reliance Infra may sell part of cement business, which is basically a move aimed at raising the funding for the acquisition of Pipavav Defence. And the IPO of AdLabs Entertainment has been extended by 3 days to March 17, and the price band too has been revised down to about 180 to about 215 from about 221 to about 230. Mavana and Symboli are big defaulters. Mavana shuts down 3 mills and more directors have resigned. Here is a list of stocks with positive bias, and they are Idea, ICICI Bank and Allahabad Bank. Stocks with negative bias are Tech Mahindra, Indiabulls Housing Finance and Dr. Reddy's. Stocks for investments that we like at this point of time are L&T, Aditya Birla New Tata Motor DVR, Infosys and Ultratech Cement. That's it from all of us friends. Have a great weekend and see you on Monday morning.